Hola chicos! Welcome to our second online lesson. ¿Qué haces en la ciudad is the title today, and it means what do you do in the city. Our learning objectives are going to be telling the time and using the verb ir to go to say what you do in your town. To start, I'm going to ask you to translate the Spanish and the English of the following places you can go in your city. As always, pause the presentation to give yourself time to do so. Right, and here we got them. Un mercado, a market. Un centro comercial, a shopping center. Una piscina, a swimming pool. Unos museos, some museums. Un estadio, a stadium. A university, una universidad. Lots of many parks. Muchos parques, lots of or many shops, muchas tiendas, a sports center, un polideportivo, some town squares, unas plazas. Give yourself 2 points for each of the answers you've given in Spanish and 1 point for each correct one that you've given in English. Well done. Right, so our first objective was to tell the time. To do that, we need to remember our numbers. So pause the presentation and translate these numbers for me. If you need the help, you got them all here in random order, and if you're feeling especially Spanish today, here you got some more to translate. Right, so here we go. 12, 10, 7, 9, 6, 4, 5, 8, 2, 3. And for those of you that have attempted the other ones, here are the responses. Right. If I can ask you to, again, once I've explained how it's going to work, to pause the presentation to give you time to write down these times. It helps to have the face of the clock. And we're going to start already thinking, why do we use es for 1 o'clock? If you see here, I've got es la una, and I use son for all the rest. Why would that be? Yeah, that's right. It's because la una is singular and all the other numbers are plural. So that's why una is the only time that we're going to use es with. Okay. So if I can ask you to use the same drawing to make a note of the minutes. This is to say 5 past or 5 to. And so this side of the clock are the minutes past the hour. So you say the hour plus y plus minutes. For example, las 3:10. 3 and 10 minutes, so it's 10 past 3. And this side of the clock are the minutes to the hour. So the hour that is going to be plus menos plus the minutes. For example, las 3 menos 10 would be 10 to 3. So it's 3 minus 10 minutes. And note here that we got o'clock in punto, y cuarto for quarter past, y media for half past, y menos cuarto for a quarter to. So now we're going to see how we can remember to say the time. Okay, ¿qué hora es? What time is it? Ready? 3, 2, 1, here we go. What time is it now? Son las 5:15, 5:15. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 8 menos cuarto, 7:45. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 3:30, 3:30. ¿Qué hora es? Would this be son or es? Yes, very good. It's la 1:25, 25 past 1. And now it's your turn. You can either draw the clocks or just write the answer in English. So here are 4 times that I would like you to tackle in English, as I say, or write doing the drawing on the clock. Right, so son las 10 menos cuarto. It's 9:45 or 9:45. Son las 6:20. 20 past 6. Es la 1:30. 1:30. Son las 5 menos 5. So it's 4:55 or 5 minutes to 5. Well done, everybody. And now we're going to try to listen out for these times. So I'm going to read this text and you are going to try to figure out what times am I mentioning underneath these little clouds. If you need, here you got the times in a random order. And then there's a couple of challenges. Some questions here. ¿A qué hora es la clase de francés? ¿A qué hora es el recreo? ¿Y a qué hora estudia dibujo? If there's an extension, what do the highlighted words mean? Okay, here we go. Hola chicos, voy a hablar sobre mi horario escolar. Vivo en España y el horario es un poco diferente. Los martes estudio muchas asignaturas diferentes. A las 8:30 estudio el arte. Y a las 9:30 estudio el francés con mi profesora favorita. A las 11 menos 10 salgo al recreo y juego con mis amigos. Luego estudio la historia a las 11:30, pero no me gusta porque es muy aburrida. Después estudio el dibujo a las 2:10 y luego voy a casa a las 3. Okay, so let's see how we did. 8:30, 9:30, 11 menos 10, 11:30, 2:10, 3. Very good. Give yourself a tick for each one that you got right. Now, in regards to these questions, ¿a qué hora es la clase de francés? At what time is the French class? It's 9:30. ¿A qué hora es el recreo? At what time is break time? It's 10 to 11. And at what time do they does he study art? Does she study art, sorry. And it's 10 past 2. And if you were wondering about the highlighted words, un poco is a bit. Salgo is I go out. Después means afterwards, and luego, these two, mean then. Okay, so far what have we seen? Have we been telling the time? Yes, we have. So we give ourselves a tick and we move on to using the verb ir, to go. First of all, take a note that the verb ir is irregular, so you need to know it off by heart, and it's a verb that we're going to use a lot in Spanish for other tenses. So if I can ask you to pause the presentation and put these verbs in the correct order. Okay? And then if you're feeling very Spanish today, translate the sentences. Okay, let's see how we did. I go voy, you go vas, he, she, it goes va, we go vamos, you go vais, and they go van. I go to the beach, voy a la playa, we go to the park, vamos al parque, they go to the pool, van a la piscina, do you go to school? Vas al colegio, and he goes to a match, va a un partido. Well done, everybody. Right, so now we're going to see what vocabulary of things that we do. So please pause the slides if you need to, so you make sure that you got the English and the Spanish. And at the same time, let's repeat the pronunciation. Here we go. Voy a la bolera. I go bowling. Voy al cine. I go to the cinema. Voy a la cafetería. I go to the cafeteria. Voy a la playa. I go to the beach. Voy de compras. I go shopping. Voy de paseo con mi familia. I go for a walk with my family. Voy al parque. I go to the park. Salgo con mis amigos. Do you remember salgo from the previous exercise? Yes, that's right. I go out with my friends. Another irregular verb that you're going to have to learn off by heart. Y no hago nada. I don't do anything. Another irregular verb, because it comes from the verb hacer, and you'll need to learn this verb off by heart. Okay, now we're going to test ourselves. Can you remember what these things meant? Pause the presentation if you need to write it again. Otherwise, here we go. No hago nada, I don't do anything. Salgo con mis amigos, I go out with my friends. Voy al cine, I go to the cinema. Voy a la playa, I go to the beach. Voy de paseo con mi familia, I go for a walk with my family. Voy de compras, I go shopping. Voy al parque, I go to the park. Voy a la bolera, I go to the bowling alley, or go bowling, you could just use it like that. Voy a la cafetería, I go to the cafe. Voy a un restaurante, I go to a restaurant. Right, now we're going to see mi sábado perfecto. And this is to encourage you to do a little bit of independent reading as well. You can pause the presentation and then answer the following questions in English. Okay? If you need an extra challenge, you can translate the first paragraph. Here we go. What does she do at 8? She ate chocolate and listened to music. What does she do after that and at what time? 9:15, she rides a bike, goes to the park and watches football. What is her opinion of football? She loves it. What activity is next? 1:20, goes bowling. What time do they do this until? Until 5:30. What does she do at 5:45? She goes to a cafe. What does she do last? She watches TV. Very good. And now it's your turn to do your own little write-up. Just a couple of paragraphs to say, en mi sábado perfecto, my perfect Saturday, at such and such time I do this or I go, just following the previous example. Remember that you can go back in the presentation and have a look to see the structure if you need to. Okay, and now to wrap it up, contra el ratón. You're going to see a series of sentences, whether in English or in Spanish, and you, as quickly as you can, write in your books what it is. Right, well, can you believe we got to the end of the lesson? I hope you marked yourselves out of 7 in the last exercise. As always, can I ask you to stay healthy, helpful and calm? I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I'll see you next week. We'll see you next week. You'll hear me next week. Hasta pronto, chicos.